Hi, I'm Brad Chapin, your host for California UpNOW. Today we're going to be talking about Harry Britt. He's one of the most influential queer politicians that you've probably never heard of. He is someone who has not necessarily been in the Harvey Milk movie or been in some of the things that you might have seen before, but he is someone who has shaped really San Francisco and what it is today, what it means to be a queer person living here today. Harry, I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about your role in taking Harvey's place, a place that many thought couldn't really be filled by anyone, but really, in many ways, you were as progressive, if not more progressive in some ways, than Harvey.
Okay. People tend to think of Harvey as a great individual, and he was a great individual, but he was our leader. There was a community of people around Harvey, all of who were dealing with coming out, dealing with learning who they really are, expressing their feelings, becoming political. So he was our leader, but when we lost him, we didn't lose the lessons we had learned from him. We didn't lose our anger. We didn't lose our sense that we simply can't afford to let Harvey down.
Can you describe a little bit about how you didn't give in to the pressures to basically condemn the riots? Instead, you talked about why the riots took place.
Because we were talking about Harvey Milk, and when you're thinking of Harvey Milk, you see gay anger. Mm-hmm. You see gay anger with a beautiful face, but a powerful face, but the anger is always there.
Right.
And one of Harvey's beefs with those who had gone before were that we were too nice and that we allowed ourselves to think the problem was not serious enough, that we had to really get serious and in some cases get violent.
Right.
So it was a time to express our anger. It was a time to tell gay people, get off your butts. They've shown us what they think of us. They've shown us what they would like to do to us. It's either going to be our chance now to show them who we really are and change this.
You know, when Harvey recorded his last words, he talked about how he would want the gay movement to continue, that he wouldn't necessarily want people to be in the streets, but he'd want all gay people to come out. He'd want sort of a revolution of all sorts of different actions, not just on the streets. Can you talk a little bit about how you think that happened, your influence in really creating the Harvey Milk LGBT Democratic Club out of what was once the San Francisco Gay Democratic Club? Why did that happen? How did you get momentum? How did the gay movement move forward from that point?
Yeah, it's important to see that Harvey was not a liberal. Harvey was surrounded by gay activists, lesbian activists, who thought if we would put on a nice face on who we were, that people would quit treating us so badly. Okay. And he hated that. He would rather you just call me a fag than to pretend that you think I'm really okay.
Right.
And so he was a man of anger who was always calling us back. Don't trust people to take care of you because you're good. They're going to work with you because you're powerful, right. And there's no other alternative. So to lose him, we could not allow that to mean that we were losing our power.
Okay.
Because Harvey didn't want us to trust his power; he wanted us to trust our own. He wanted us to stand up against the liberal establishment of San Francisco, not suck up to them.
All right, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back with Harry.
Would you like to win a complete makeover? In order to participate, you must like Salon DNA San Francisco along with Attitude Show, both pages on Facebook, and share, and follow us on Instagram. So make sure to tell all your friends and family, and I will see the lucky winner soon at Salon DNA.
Hi, this is Brad Chapin. I'm with California UpNOW, and we're talking with Harry Britt, Harvey Milk's successor on the San Francisco Board of Supervisors. You know, I know that you were influenced a lot by Martin Luther King and Harvey, of course, and at the same time, I think it's really important to think about history and the people who have influenced history as, living, breathing, or once living, breathing human beings. That they weren't just these heroic figures, but they were really action-oriented people who got things done, who for some reason we remember. And so I was wondering a little bit, if you could talk a little bit about what made Harvey Milk, what made Martin Luther King, in yourself in many ways, what made yourselves a group of people who really did things that created change?
That's a big question, Brad. The figure of Martin Luther King just towers over everything that happened in politics in the United States in the last 40, 50 years of the previous century. And the sense of possibility that Dr. King felt, that African Americans simply, it was intolerable for African Americans to live the kind of lifestyles that were available to them when I was a little boy. Mm-hmm. And out of that comes an anger and a determination. And part of the problem is you have to tell all of the people who have spoken in the name of black people or gay people and say, quit saying all those bullshit things. Let's get right to the point. The world wishes we weren't in it. They've assigned us a role that we're not interested in playing anymore. Mm-hmm. And they're either going to learn from us and get their act together and create a better country, mm-hmm. or we're going to have real problems in the United States.
Speaking of Harvey, this past weekend we were celebrating Harvey Milk's 87th birthday. Here's a few clips from our event there.
We're having a program with the Queer Women of Color Multimedia Arts Project. They're screening 3 of their short films, and we are screening the Times of Harvey Milk documentary following the short films.
And I think as you look at that history and you look at the struggles he overcame and the struggles that people working with him overcame, and then what people did with his death and how they built this movement.
So thank you so much for partnering with us.
I think younger generations really need to know how to get ignited, how to learn from our history, how to learn from you and Harvey about what we need to do now. What are your thoughts about what needs to happen now? How do we unite the us's and the youses, and how do we come together to really fight for a more progressive future, a more united future together?
Well, those of us who have survived the past have to be very careful about telling the young people of today what they need to do, because what they need to do is deal with our mistakes. What they need to do is to see possibilities in their own lives that those of us who've gone before did not see. Right. I was raised in a white South in which African Americans simply weren't players in any kind of political sense at all. That looks so stupid now. And it may be that some of the things we're doing now that we feel pretty good about will look stupid to the next generation that comes along. So I don't want to teach them too much. I want to listen to them. I want to say, here's what we've done. I'm sure you can do better. And don't ever settle for just living up to the people of the past, and demand that the new replace the old and lift it to a higher level.
Thank you so much for being here, Harry. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time on California Up Now.